Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm JD Fiscus, and I'm the creator of the N8N MCP community node, which had about 1 million downloads that helps you automate your AI processes. Today, what I want to teach you is how you can actually use Claude to build a sales pipeline, and we're going to take this in 3 different steps. So the first step, we'll go ahead and get access to your notes, and then we'll continue the process from there. With that, let's go ahead and get started. A little bit about the tools. So I want to talk a little bit about the tools that we're going to be using. So if you signed up for this challenge, you're probably super interested in what MCP can do. You've heard about it before, but we're just going to do like a quick little intro. And so MCP is a protocol of sorts that allows you to connect from an AI application, whether that be an agent or a tool or a piece of software, and connect to a server, which allows you to either pull data or use data. Essentially, you can get or do an action. And what's interesting about this is because we have so many different servers, we have about, this says 1,000, but there's tens of thousands of different servers that we can interact with, and there's different clients. So a client is like what I mentioned in the opening, which was I built an N8N client, which had over 1 million downloads. And what that means is that you could connect N8N to MCP and then any MCP server, very similar to like an API. What we're going to do is we're going to use one of the other clients. And so they have tons of different clients. All these clients have different functionality. We're going to focus on Claude. So Anthropic, the parent company of Claude, is one of the main contributors to MCP. They have a lot of good functionality here. And as you can see, there's still room for growth on some of the support for what Claude can do. So the first thing though is you need a copy of Claude. And so what Claude is you can use it on the web or on the desktop. We're actually going to be using it on the desktop, which is a paid service. Sometimes they have free tier, sometimes they have discounts, but what you're going to need to do is sign up for the Pro. So the Pro will give you unlimited access to projects as well as connecting any MCP tool, as well as connecting what's called connectors. So workspace, email, all different kinds of connectors that we can use, including CRMs. So what I want you to do is the first part of the challenge is to go ahead and download Claude Code. All you need to do is download and install this, and we'll go ahead and get started. So go ahead and pause the video and download this either for Mac or Windows, and go ahead and open it. It should be really simple. All you need to do is click, and then it'll give you a download screen. All right, so now that you have the application installed, we're going to go ahead and take a look. When you start it up, it will actually look like this. It'll give you an option of how you can actually interact with this. So you can put your prompts in here. This is where you have access to your tools. And this is where we're going to spend most of our time looking at different kinds of MCPs. So the plus button acts as your asset. As you can see down here, there are upload a file, GitHub, and this Google Drive. We're going to learn how to connect to Google Drive, which acts as an MCP, in order to pull different types of files. You probably won't see this one. This is a custom MCP that I built. If you're interested in things like that, we have more advanced courses as well as my YouTube. The other thing that MCP can do is it can actually use tools. So there's a big difference between being able to load in a resource, like an asset, and being able to get information or take an action. And to do either of those things, you're going to be using different types of connectors. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to set up our Drive search so that we can actually talk with our nodes or different files. There's two different ways you can do this. You can either connect right here, and it will load your connectors and automatically have you sign in to your Google account. So I'm just going to go ahead and click my professional account and then continue and open. So you notice that it didn't actually connect, and I want to show why. When I clicked through, I didn't click the continue. So we have two services, continue, and then we load. Real quick, everyone, if you haven't already, please remember to like and subscribe. It helps more than you know. There's also the Vibe Coding community, which will allow you to have access to different challenges and resources. So please sign up down below. With that, let's get back to it. And now I have the services. So I just have to toggle this on, and will allow me to pull from these different files. I can also search for those files. So these are just examples. So you can say locate files, give me the TDLR. So what I want you to do is I want you to click one of the tools and find a piece of your notes that you want to actually interact with. So what's happening right now is it's actually going out and looking through all of my documentations and different folders of how to connect things. And now it's creating a document based on the information that I have fetched from these files. And what it's doing is it's building what's called an artifact. This artifact allows me to, one, interact with these notes, but two, I can actually publish these. Now we're not going to want to publish these because they're notes, but you can see that it's pulling different information as a TDLR of what I was interested in. And as I selected it, it allows me to ask for more information. So now I've selected that information. It's going to go give me another artifact specifically about the different types of rules and creating anti-AI writing guidelines. Now this is important because these guidelines are things that I want to use when interacting with sales emails or communicating on social media so that I don't sound like a robot as I'm rewriting things. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go into your Google Drive, connect your account, pull back a file, and start interfacing with it. All you need to do is get that information into Claude so that you have that in what's called context. Every time that this went out and fetched files, it pulled the information in from those files into my chat window, which is essentially the context, which allows me to interact with things and allows me to build out the different information here in order to write new notes or learn about these notes. So with that, I want you to go ahead and take your first challenge and pull back some of your notes.